Are Chelsea Football Club in the title race? Now, since last week, that has been the question in the mind of many football fans around England. Because I can't lie, these lot at Chelsea, they're bipolar. They win a game and then they play shit for the next 5 games. But what we want to see is this Liverpool game a turning point? Or could it be seen as a turning point in Chelsea's season? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over Chelsea's season so far and sort of formulate my opinion on whether or not they are actually in the title race or not. Obviously, during the summer, Chelsea had a very good summer, winning the Club World Cup. And they also had a very solid pre-season. But the one key difference that was different between this season and other seasons was Chelsea's recruitment was not absolutely dog shit. They actually signed some good players like Liam Delap, João Pedro, proven players and players that weren't some fucking Bolivian wonder kid from the Brazilian 8th tier football, players that we knew could play. However, they did also sign Garnacho, which at the time was absolutely the worst signing they could have ever made. But on to Chelsea's actual season. The first game of the season, they obviously drew 0-0 to Crystal Palace, where I think Crystal Palace got robbed. My goal, Eze, should have scored that free kick. And at the time, to be honest, I was there thinking, yo, Chelsea are not that good. But I hadn't realised how insane Crystal Palace were. Crystal Palace might be the most underrated team in Europe right now. So in hindsight, that result is really not as bad as it originally looked. Then they started clip farming in London. They started farming goals off West Ham, which every single club in the league seems to love to do. But they slapped West Ham 5-1. And I actually watched this game. I started thinking, yo, Chelsea, they don't smoke. Like some of the plays I was seeing them do, you know, they were techie. I can't lie. I got to respect it. But I should have known better because it was against West Ham. West Ham, genuinely, I don't even know if they would beat my school team from 2 years ago. That's the caliber of football we're seeing at West Ham at the moment. Obviously, they've got Nuno in, but I'm talking about at that point in the season, they were absolutely shocking under Graham Potter. Then they obviously beat Fulham 2-0, which was a nice little win, but they did get lucky. There was a lot of controversy around that game, and I think they definitely got lucky in that game. And had things gone differently, that game could have ended very differently, and most likely would have ended in Fulham's favour. Then the chain of stinky results came in September. They drew 2-2 to Brentford, lost 3-1 to Bayern, and then the worst of all, they somehow lost to Man United in 2025. You see, this record that Chelsea has at Old Trafford genuinely needs to be studied. I don't know how they can still go to Old Trafford and lose. I know they got a red card within about 13.3 seconds of the game starting, but that's neither here nor there. They should have had more than enough quality to deal with West Ham, even if they had about 5 players on the pitch. I'm not even going to talk about the game against Lincoln City, because if you watch this video thinking I'm going to speak about that game, you need some serious help, my friend. Then they obviously had Brighton in the league. This game was absolutely insane. The fact that Chelsea have let Danny Welbeck score twice against them at Stamford Bridge in the year 2025 is bonkers. Welbeck's longevity needs to low-key be studied. It's very underrated. Guys don't remember he's been there at the top level nearly as long as I've been born, mate. He's been there and done it for so many years. Guys talk about James Milner. They need to start putting respect on Danny Welbeck's name. Then they had the Champions League game against Benfica, which was a nice 1-0 win. That was a good performance. I have to give it to them. That looked quite comfy. They looked quite solid in that game, even though it was only a 1-0 scoreline. Then obviously the greatest result in football history, Liverpool v Chelsea, with Liverpool losing again. I made a whole video about that game, so if you're really interested, go click on that video. It's the second latest video on my channel. So yeah, I don't really have any more to say about that game. I just want to talk about more the Chelsea squad now. Their squad has been very interesting. Obviously, they've had to deal with the lack of Cole Palmer being available. Obviously, he's been injured. He's been in and out of the team, which probably has something to do with them struggling a lot, or definitely has something to do with them struggling a lot in this beginning period of the season. But now it seems like they are finally starting to be able to play without Cole Palmer in the team, and without Cole Palmer doing absolutely every job on that pitch. Other players are really starting to shine and show their quality for Chelsea. And I think that if they continue this way, I think slotting Cole Palmer right back into that team once he comes back from injury, once a couple other players are not suspended anymore, they could be a real problem for the rest of the league. I mean, we've got Esteval moving like prime Messi and Neymar put together. Every time I've watched him play, this guy's been so exciting. He's genuinely been one of my favorite players to watch so far this season. And if I ever see Pedro Neto starting over this guy ever again, I'm going to start throwing hands with Maresca. We've got Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez moving like prime Xavi and Busquets in that Chelsea midfield, absolutely bossing it all the time. Carla, and dare I say they might low-key be the best centre-mid partnership in the Premier League right now. I don't think that's too crazy to say. And they've got a decent amount of depth that we don't really talk about. I mean, the fact that Esteval doesn't even really start every game is quite insane to think about. They've got guys like Cole Palmer when he comes back. Liam Delap, obviously, when he comes back from injury. They've got Bino Gittins on the bench, which is a very solid player to turn to on the bench. But I don't think Gittins' confidence is doing very well. The fact that Garnacho has taken a place in the starting lineup over him, he has to have depression at this point, bro. But all that to say, enough yapperoni, enough yapping. All that to say and answer the question, are Chelsea in the title race? And honestly speaking, considering the fact that we are so early into the season, and because the fact that we're so early into the season, Chelsea are actually only 5 points off top of the table, the mighty Gunners. And it's very feasible to say that they will be in a title race. I mean, 5 points is nothing. We've seen Liverpool drop 6 points in the last 2 league games. It's very possible, especially considering the fact that the league is so competitive this season. Every team is so strong, except for Man United. Teams are so much more likely to drop points. I mean, even looking at Man United, who's in 10th, they're only 6 points off of top of the league. It's really not that crazy to say that Chelsea will definitely be in a title race. Because obviously I've seen this debate going on online, and I've seen so many people try to claim that Chelsea being in a title race is a ridiculous thing to say, when it's really not. 5 points is nothing in the Premier League today, especially this early into the season. The fact that the previous champions within 7 games have already lost 2 games just goes to show that the league is so much more competitive now and that teams are so much more likely to drop points. So for that reason, I think Chelsea are definitely within a shot of the title this season, if they keep playing the way they are. If Cole Palmer comes in, starts killing it, if the depth stays the way it is, if the players don't get injured, and if the players don't have a massive drop off. Because even last season at some point Chelsea were low-key looking like they were in the title race until about December, November time, where the players really started to play like they never played football before. But if that doesn't happen, then I think it's more than valid to say that Chelsea definitely are within the title race this season. But with all that being said, that is the end of the video today. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video with anyone, any Chelsea fans you know, any other fans of teams that are in the title race, share that to them. The support on the channel recently has been low-key quite overwhelming, to be honest. We're gaining subs at quite an alarming rate, so thank you very much. I think since my last video, I've gained another 20 subs. So thank you guys a lot. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys all. Take care and peace.